Betsy! Betsy, block!
What?
What are you doing?
What does it look like I'm doing?
Sitting on a blanket with a basket in a field, and we agreed to be talking about the show right now?
You mean Just Veggin, where each episode a guest shares a vegetable recipe and stories about their life. Is that what you're talking about?
That is what I'm talking about.
Okay, well, I think it's kind of obvious that I'm in a meeting right now, right? So, actually, you're welcome to join if you care to.
Oh, no, I'm good.
No, actually, I think you should join us. Please come here.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Here, please.
That is pretty good.
Right?
Yeah.
I want everyone to love vegetables as much as I do.
Isn't that why you're making Just Veggin?
That's exactly why I'm making Just Veggin.
Just Veggin.
She's one of Boston's most beloved and acclaimed chefs. She's a James Beard Award winner and a cookbook author. Today, we are Just Veggin with Ana Sortun of Oleana, Sarma, and Sofra, and we're so excited. Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, thank you, Betsy. It's good to be here.
So can you tell us what our veg of the day is and what recipe you're teaching us?
So the veg of the day is spinach. Lots and lots of spinach. And we're gonna do a dish called cacik. It's spelled C-A-C-I-K. It's a Turkish dish. It's very similar to the Greek tzatziki, where its base is a really thick, creamy yogurt. It's a little bit of like a cross between a salad and a dip. And I like to think of it as like anything and everything green with thick, garlicky yogurt.
It sounds amazing. So let's get cooking.
Great.
For this recipe, you'll need 1 cup of blanched spinach along with a slew of chopped green things.
Tell us more.
A bunch of scallions, a cup of cucumber, 2 tablespoons each of dill and mint, 4 tablespoons of parsley, a 1/4 cup of olive oil, 3 cups of labneh or Greek yogurt, 3 cloves of garlic, half a lemon, and plenty of dried mint. Feel free to add lettuce, snap peas, or anything and everything green.
So we'll go ahead and blanch the spinach. The water is boiling. It's salted water. And we just, basically this just goes in a plunge really quick. Just
Is it sea salty?
I just use kosher salt.
Okay.
But then we just want to kind of push it down into the water and give it a minute in the water, just until it basically wilts, and it'll go pretty quick. And then I have in my sink here some ice water. I've got a big bowl of ice, and I'm just going to fill it with a little bit of water so that the spinach will cool down really quick. And basically it's like it'll shock the spinach and turn it bright green. So once it's wilted, which is about now, we'll take a strainer and drain it. And then we'll immediately, as soon as we've got all the hot water out of it, we'll plunge it in the ice water. So you can see it just got really dark, bright green.
Yeah.
And then as soon as it feels really cold, I'll take it out of the water because I don't want the spinach to get waterlogged. I just want to keep it in there long enough to feel really cold. But you know what I love to do with the spinach is once it's drained of the water, I take small amounts of it. And the reason why I take small amounts of it is because I want to get as much water out of it as possible. And if I took all of it and squeezed it, I would only, all the water would still stay in the middle of the spinach. So I really want to just get as much water as I possibly can. You get like these little balls that we can then chop. And then this can be done even the day before. I just kept in a bag or a bowl in the fridge until you're ready to assemble it. But I always like to make the cacik right before I serve it because it's just like super fresh. It's like dressing a salad the day before or something like that. You want to do it sort of last minute, but you can prep all your vegetables ahead of time.
Okay, that's great to know.
Yeah.
This is kind of satisfying, I'm not gonna lie. Highly recommend.
This is one of those squeeze
Ooh, I'm
stress
thinking
ball.
of some things right now. Okay, so we've got our spinach, and I happen to know that you have a spinach love story to share with us.
Yeah, so I met my husband. He was teaching organic farming at a place called the Farm School in Athol, Massachusetts, and he was looking for ways of selling his vegetables, basically, and someone told him about myself, chef in Cambridge, who was really interested in using fresh local vegetables. So he shows up at like, I don't know, 5 o'clock, and we open the restaurant at 5:30. And for anyone who's ever worked in the restaurant business, you don't really talk to the chef between 5 and 5:30 because it's like, you know, getting ready for the curtain to go up. So he shows up during crunch time when usually no one really would speak to me. And I thought, okay, this guy's really cute, and look at all that beautiful spinach that he has. And so basically I just sort of almost fainted on the counter, and definitely time stopped, and it didn't matter if we were ready, and I just gave him as much time as he needed. And of course I bought his spinach and
On the spot.
on the spot, and
So much more spinach to come.
and that was that. I'm basically chopping the spinach, right? I just chopped it one way and then spun it and then chopped it the other way so that I would end up with some finely chopped blanched spinach. If you want, you could sprig some herbs
Okay, perfect.
and just take some of the stems off like
Okay,
this.
great.
We're gonna use a mixture of herbs called parsley, mint, dill. We call it PMD because we use this combination so much in everything, basically.
It smells unbelievable over here. It smells.
When you combine parsley, mint, dill in equal proportions, you get a flavor that's uniquely its own. It's sort of like when you have spring rolls in a Vietnamese restaurant. They combine holy basil, mint, and cilantro, and that combination is its own taste.
Oh, I did not know that.
And this combination is its own taste. The garlic, what you want to end up with is something really fine like this because it's eaten raw. If I was cooking this into a sauce for a long time, I wouldn't worry about it being super fine. But I think what I end up seeing a lot of is that people just take the garlic and they either smash it and then you get all the juice comes out of it and it's sort of on your cutting board, not in the garlic still. But I also just see people just randomly chop it and then you have like big pieces, small pieces.
Those are what I do.
I want it really small because it's in its raw form, so I
Yeah.
don't want anyone to get a really big piece of garlic. So I cut it in half and I take the sprout out of it, and I cut it in half for two reasons. One, to get the sprout out, but also so that it sits flat on your cutting board and doesn't rock around. And then I take the garlic towards the edge of my board, and this will make sense in a minute. And then I flip my knife over. I use the wrong side of the knife.
Wait, what?
So, and the reason why I have to have it towards the edge of the board is that I don't have any leverage because the knife is upside down if it's further away. And so then I just take the garlic and chop it with the wrong side of the knife. And I get something that's super small that all I have to do is go over it one more time. And see, I don't have it all juicy, but you see how small it gets?
I do.
And then I keep it in olive oil, which is why this is a little more yellow, just to keep it from oxidizing.
Okay.
Because when garlic is chopped, it'll turn green pretty quick from the oxidation.
Okay.
And when you coat it in olive oil, it will stay fresher longer.
Amazing.
The reason why we want to do sort of that and the lemon juice first is that in another bowl, we're going to take some garlic with some lemon, and we're going to let it sit in the lemon juice until the garlic sort of pickles and softens in flavor. Just a few minutes, like even 5 minutes is good enough. And a little salt will sort of speed up that process. So we're going to start just anything and everything green. We'll take some cucumbers
Favorite words.
and some scallions, and we'll chop those. I'm going to use a little bit of romaine, but again, you don't have to. It could be less green things, more green things. It just depends on your how much variety you want.
Love it.
But give me 1 second to just kind of.
I just
Clean my
green
knife.
food. I think is my favorite color. Just anything green, everything green, is my life.
For the cucumbers, I love using these little Lebanese or Armenian style cucumbers. They have much less water in them, and so they won't thin out the cacik. So what's nice about these is the skin is really thin, and there's not that many seeds in it like the sort of bigger cucumbers.
Is this okay?
That's
Okay.
perfect.
Okay. Good. Anything else?
Yeah, actually, if you want to do what's called, we do a little chiffonade with those. It
Yeah.
doesn't have to be super fine,
Okay. Do you do it in batches?
but yeah, what I like to do is take the herbs, and I like to clump them up in batches.
Yeah. Perfect. I
and
got
roll
it.
them and
Cool.
then slice.
Awesome. Everybody see that?
Not your first chiffonade.
Well, it's not.
So with these cucumbers too, I don't even take off the skin because it's so thin.
Yeah.
And then I usually just slice the cucumber before I dice it. So just like that, taking out the center that has like just all seeds in it, but everything else is usable. And then I just do a nice small dice. And when we have herbs and cucumbers, we can put them into our spinach bowl. So we want about a half a cup of cucumbers, so I'll do like a couple of these. So that's probably good on the cucumbers.
I'm feeling a little paranoid about my chiffonade, guys.
It's a beautiful chiffonade.
Is it okay?
Oh, it's perfect.
Put it in?
Yeah, it's
I needed to
perfect.
make sure before I...
See how many herbs? That's such a good amount too. And the only other thing I might add to this batch would be some scallions, spring onion scallions, and which we just really want to get maybe a little bit of green, but most of it off.
Okay.
And then we want to just mince them pretty small. And I split that one in half just because it was kind of a bigger one.
Okay.
If you want to do one last chiffonade, we can just do the romaine as small as possible. Yeah, that's perfect. That's beautiful.
Thanks.
Oh my God, look at that chiffonade.
Aw.
So that's a vegetable knife, right?
Okay, so he doesn't make the blade, but my husband made this knife.
Oh my God,
So-
what a great husband.
Oh, he's a great husband. He's the best. So I just use this for everything, kind of.
It's a beautiful chiffonade. It's perfect.
Wow, I'm having a moment. Holy smoke. This is on camera, so it actually happened. I can check. Thank you so
You
much.
definitely have some practice using a knife, for
Thank
sure.
you. Wow.
Yeah, we can throw that in the bowl once it's done.
Okay.
You know, sometimes I have things kicking around, like I have snow peas blanched, some bok choy blanched. I like to do this
Same.
like on Sundays,
Love
just
it.
blanch some vegetables so that I can
Yeah, for sure.
snack on them, eat lots of vegetables during the
that.
week.
Yes.
But if you wanted to, you could use something like this in there as well. Like say you hated cucumbers, you could put peas in there, you could put bok choy, you could put Swiss chard in there, anything and everything green. What we'll do next is make our yogurt base. So the garlic has been pickled in lemon juice with salt. And then we're gonna just take some labneh. It's very thick yogurt, and it's
Gorgeous.
been strained of all of its water, and it should be so thick that the spoon can stand up in the labneh as well. And what we wanna do is add the labneh to, and when you're making this too, see it's almost like equal
Yep. Mounts. Yeah.
equal labneh to vegetables. And when you make tzatziki in Greece, it's more yogurt than vegetables. Then we want to just add a little bit of salt to that. And the other thing that's a key ingredient in cacik, which makes it taste Turkish and not Greek, is the dried mint. But I use a lot of dried
Amazing.
mint. And this is really our base right now. So this is what I would do the day before, is just do this.
Oh, yeah.
And then I would mix it the day of. Then I'm gonna mix the lemon juice in with the mint and labneh. And then I usually put a little bit of olive oil at the end. And then we can combine the vegetables and the yogurt. Take this spatula And then I'm probably gonna hit it with a little bit more salt on top of the vegetables as well. And this is where we can drizzle in some olive oil if you wanna
right here.
grab that and just give me like maybe a tablespoon or two.
Okay.
I think that's probably good. And that kind of just shines it up. But you can see that this is like a cross between a dip and a salad almost because there's so many vegetables in it. And sometimes I like to put a little more mint in there, sometimes more olive oil, sometimes some fresh cracked black pepper. It's pretty great. I wouldn't really do anything.
I wouldn't either.
Shall we throw it in a plate?
Let's do it. Let's plate it up.
If you don't mind cutting some of that beautiful arugula over there at the top.
I'm so excited. This is the first local arugula of the year.
What I love to do with this is just make like a little bit of a well. And before we put some arugula on, I'm just gonna drizzle more olive oil. So olive oil is like a seasoning, right? It's like, it's fruity, it's peppery, it's got spices, it's got, you know, it's a very important ingredient to Mediterranean food. And then of course, since we love dried mint so much, we're just gonna put a little more dried mint on. And then we can just decorate it with some more fresh greens. Sometimes I make like I actually just top this like a pizza with the cacik and then greens, and you can just cut it into wedges and just pick it up and eat it if you're at a party. It's great on rice crackers. With potato chips, it's the best.
Okay, I wasn't expecting that.
It's a really great potato chip dip for sure.
That makes a lot of sense now that you said that. I'm so excited to dig into this now, and that's exactly what we're gonna do, and you should too. So until next time, just keep vegging. Wait, until next time, just keep vegging.